Welcome everybody to another week and another vlog. Got started on the Mausoleum build last week, and we're just getting out in the shop. It's Monday afternoon. Dragon's Lair Workshop, or shall I call it the Disaster Area Workshop. This is one of the inside panels that we had glued up. I've got more inside panels over there. I got inside panels here. They've been drying all weekend, so it's time to come through and take the washers out and get the panels cleaned up and squared to the frames, what have you. I'm going to hold off on doing that. Last week we left you, and I was working on sketching the patterns out on the outside panels, and we got 2 panels done. Well, I had some free time last night. First time on a Sunday night I had free time, and I got out here, and I got 2 more of the 4-foot panels sketched in. I've still got a 3-foot, some 1-foots, a couple of 2-foots, 2 more of the 4-foots to do. So I think what I'm going to do before I switch over and start doing these here, which are the inside panels, I'm going to finish laying out the pattern on the exterior. That way that is done and over with. Let's see, I got to get that pattern laid out on them, plus 4 of these large sheets. I have sketched out the measurements on the back to allow for the stained glass panels. I got to cut a hole in them. So I'll probably get that done too, and then we'll switch over and start working on the inside walls. This week it's basically going to be laying the pattern out, cleaning up the inside walls, getting the pattern laid out on it, and then hopefully getting started on the carving and detail work. So I'm not exactly sure how much footage you guys are going to get, but we'll get you something. Alright, take 2 for the Monday. I just got done. We got all the pattern drawn out. Now I'm not sure how well this is showing up. The marking pen is kind of light. The detail work up here on the top was my wife's idea, and we're going to lightly trim that out with a Dremel, and then I'll Dremel another shallow cut along that line right below it, and then we're going to use a wood dowel with sandpaper to, you know, kind of give us some shape and texture. We ended up doing an 8-inch wide high brick by 6 inches wide, and then my cuts, I got 4 panels with these holes in it. The holes need to be cleaned up a bit. I'm not going to worry about that until I go to put the wall up for the first time, and on the frame I'll have to clean them up in order to get the light boxes in. I've got 4 panels like that with the holes. So we got this part done. It's all sketched out and ready to go. Now I'm going to get started, I think, in here on the inner walls. I need to go through, clean up the outside edges, get the slop cleaned off of it from the Gorilla Glue. A lot of them still have the screws and washers in. I need to get those out. And then we're going to start sketching the pattern for the inside. Welcome to Tuesday. As you can see, we got quite a ways yesterday on the cleanup. Had a bunch of panels over there. I've only got a 3-foot left. And I had a bunch of big panels here, and I've only got 1 4-foot left. And I've got lots of panels over there. So we made some progress yesterday. On the cleanup on these, I'm going through getting the washers out, and I'm also cleaning up the whoop-de-doos, you know, from the Gorilla Glue. And I've got on the top, the bottom, the sides, you know, a little bit there. And what I'm using to clean this up, I'm using, let me see if I can reach it, 2 things. One, just a regular wood rasp, which is kind of what I did here. And you just, you know, run it over, you know, and it takes it down and trues up the foam a little bit more to the wall frame. You know, so it works good on the outside edges. And then, let's see, where is, hiding behind the wall panels. I shouldn't be doing that. To get this part here, you really can't get the wood rasp in. So I'm using a chisel. And you can go in here like that, break it loose there, and then get it from under the underside and get it off there. And I've got a few panels with this inlet on it. And I'll show you what those are for, you know, when I go to set up. But I basically got that panel and that panel that need the washers taken out. And then both of them, plus all these small ones, plus these 2-foot ones over here, need to be gone through and cleaned. Then we can start the laborious task of laying out the pattern on these panels. Fun. But right now, I need to get this one out of the way so I can have some room. So I'm going to get to work. We'll give you another update a little bit later. And by the way, good morning. Late day update. We went through all the panels, got them all cleaned up around the inside. I'm not going to worry about the inside because no one is going to see it. And I'm being pestered by a Kaylee. She wants to play. She likes to play. But anyway, I got them cleaned up and I started working on that. That's the first panel I've gotten laid out. And I'll tell you, doing the plaques here are a pain in the butt. I'm using stencils this time, you know, for Grant McDonald's preference. I hate using stencils. It takes forever. Just doing lettering on things takes freaking forever. But we've got on this one, Steve Reeves. It's supposed to be Steven. I forgot the N. I'm not going to erase it and redo it. So it's just Steve Reeves. 500 of yards have gone before. And if you're a YouTuber, you might remember Yard Hunter or Yard Hunter 5. Spin-off on his YouTube name. And then down below, we've got Walter Manning, caught by the palm of his shadow. He hasn't done any vlogs in ages, Walter. But Shadow of Palms was his YouTube handle. And he's got some great stuff up on it then. But we got the first panel done. Well, as you can tell, it's dark out here. About 8 o'clock, a little after 8. Got a second one done. Laying out the epitaphs is what's taking all the time. And I'm going to have to retouch the first panel because there's a couple of lines out of whack. But we got the second one done, and I know it's probably not coming up too good. But for the epitaphs, I picked 2 of my bonfire friends. We got Troy France, burped the mouth of hell and paid for it. And Jim Erickson, his dreams were shattered. So Jim, Troy, you're dead. Well, I got a third one done. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. I'm calling it quits out here. Same pattern on the brick. This one reads Dom Powell, the gloom of the goth was around him. And then Randall Turan died from burrito overdose. Oh, it's a start. Well, it's the next day. I got semi-good night's sleep, if you want to call it that. We got one panel done, and this time I decided it was time to bury a Canadian. And Chandra, you got picked. It says, Chandra Hard, that drift was just too dang high. Referring to all the snow you get up there. And then we went a little bit techie, a little bit old school. Tim Thompson, spooking and diving don't mix. So, another panel done. That's 4 out of the 6 I need to do. And we got a very bored puppy out here that wants to play. And I've been playing with her off and on, but the more I play with her, the less work I get done. Yeah, she's going to sit there and mope and take pity on me, Daddy. Play with me, Daddy. Pay attention to me. Hey, got another panel done, finally. It's taking a while to do. Luckily, I've got one more 4-foot wide panel to do that only has one plaque on it. It's the wall panel. Will be going behind our monster in the crypt. So that one should go fairly quick. It'll only have one plaque to do instead of 2. But on this one, went back to YouTube for my inspiration. We've got Greg Scholl, the maker of Widows, met his match. In other words, Widowmaker Productions on YouTube. And then Robert Gaskill, he caught a virus from his haunt. Virus Haunt is his name on YouTube. So we got a couple, so far we've got quite a few YouTuber names up here, or a play on their handles on YouTube. And we've got a couple of chat people in here too. So we're getting there. Now the last panel I'll do, and I'll show it to you when I get it done, is also going to be played, a play on another YouTuber's nickname. So let's see how that goes. Alright, got my last plaque done. And this one I had to do a little differently. It's actually two panels. When you go in the door of the mausoleum, if you look to your right, this is the end wall of the haunt, or the mausoleum. So in order to keep the pattern somewhat symmetrical and know that huge crack right there isn't going to be there, this is actually supposed to be like that. Actually a little bit closer than that. And it will be once I get it screwed into place. But when you look to the right, I'm going to have my monster in the crypt up on a stand right underneath of it. And so only one plaque. And this one goes out to Mark Ordine, aka on YouTube, God's Flesh. The flesh of God has fallen away. So that's my last one where I need to do a plaque on it. All the rest of the inside panels is just the brick and rock with a rock trim on it. Those go real quick, trimming that out. I'm going to stay out here. I got the radio going. I don't want to drive YouTube too nuts. But those go real quick laying those out. So hopefully I'm going to stay out here and hope I can stay awake enough and get them all sketched out tonight. That way tomorrow we can start getting into doing some carving. So let's see how far we've got to go. I've got two 2-foot, a 3-foot, and two 1-foot. So 5 panels to lay out, plus the headers, which I have not even figured out what I'm going to do yet on those. So we'll see where we get. Well, it's almost 10 o'clock. Finally got all the inside walls for the mausoleum sketched out. The only thing I haven't done yet are those pieces there. Those are the headers that go over the doorway. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with those, so I'm going to leave those for later. But out here on the patio, we've got all the panels. These are our basic walls. It's got the framing and the foam. Totally done. Now, I got some bad news. Looking at the time, I've got tomorrow to work on this after I get chores done. Need to get the trailer hooked up to the car, need to get the car loaded, I gotta mow the yard, what have you. There's no way in hell I'm gonna get all those panels carved tomorrow. It's gonna take me 2 days, 3 days, maybe longer to get them carved. Next week, it's my last week before setup. A week from this coming Monday, we start setting up the haunt. So that means I've got my regular errands and chores to do, plus I need to go through and get the front yard prepped. Gotta get mowed, all the trees need to be sheared. I'm gonna lose a day of build time on this project doing pretty much just that. Probably a good 2 days with all the errands and everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to split this project up. I'm going to focus instead, and you can see in through the doorway there, all the foam sitting there. That's all the outside skins. I am not going to do anything with them. They're going to just stay right there or in the shop, because I'm going to have to move them to get into the storage locker during setup. I'm not going to do any carving, any painting on them. There's just no way in hell I'm going to be able to get those done. So we're going to focus on these. I'm going to start carving these. Need to get them painted. And we're going to have the inside of the mausoleum done for the haunt this year. Like I said, I'm not going to get the carving done tomorrow or next week. I won't get it all done. But the mausoleum's going on the driveway. Driveway is one of the last things I need to set up, and in fact the graveyard is the last thing to get set up. So I'll have in the evenings and stuff to fool around with this, get this done. Once it's set up, I can get the rafters up. Rafters are probably about a 2-hour project getting them cut and fitted, and I can get the roofing material on. But we won't have the wall panels for this project done, for the outside of it. And I was going to do a real fancy entrance with the columns and stuff, and I was going to use Gargi the Gargoyle as a focal point on that. Those are going to get done after Halloween, so we'll have them for next year. So first project of next year's build, it's going to be finishing up the mausoleum. So it's kind of a sad note. This is one project I really wanted to get done, and time just got away from me this year with getting things, you know, with all the LED project and stuff for West Coast, and I just lost too much time, and time's hit me on this. And like I was saying, there's just no way in hell I'm going to be able to get this project finished in time for this year. We'll get part of it up at least. So we've got that. Now I got everything laid out. We're going to get in here tomorrow with those panels, and we're going to actually get them up on the table and start getting them carved and sanded and the detail work done on them. Hopefully I can get the majority of them done tomorrow. After getting the truck and the trailer and stuff taken care of in the lawn mowing. Depends on how fast I get moving in the morning too, so. But we'll have to wait and see how far we can get tomorrow. Well, welcome to Thursday. Last night we left you, I got all the panels laid out and marked. Today we started carving. I have, after about 2 hours of work, one panel ready for paint. Out of, God, what is there, 12 panels to do. I've gotten one done in 2 hours. There we go. That's one of the inside panels. In fact, we'll go wonky here so you can see the full, almost full thing. If I back up a little bit more, it might help, wouldn't it? And stop wiggling the camera. But anyway, there's one of the inside panels. Going wonky again. There we go. But this is Steve Reeves. 500s of yards have gone before. And then Walter Manning, caught by the palm of his shadow. So we got that one done. With as long as it's taken to do these panels, and I normally upload the vlogs Thursday night during my dinner time. I start getting them edited and doing the process of uploading it and stuff. There really isn't going to be time to do another panel to show you guys. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think this is going to be the last segment. But want to kind of give a recap. Next week's vlog, I'm not sure exactly what's going to be going on. We are going to be continuing to work on the mausoleum panels and stuff. So we'll have that. I don't know how much I'm going to get done next week. Next week is haunt setup prep. We're actually not setting up the haunt, but I've got to go through and trim all the bushes out in the front yard. I've got to dig stuff out of storage that we need right off the bat and what have you. So I'll be focusing a lot on that, along with our general errands and everything else, which is going to be eating into my time on the mausoleum build. So I'm not sure, you know, what type of footage you guys are going to end up getting next week. So, you know, just kind of a heads up on that. But for this week, the mausoleum build, we're done for this week as far as footage goes. I am going to continue working out here through the rest of the day. I'm hoping to get another 2 or 3 of these big panels done, because they do take so long. The smaller panels go real quick, naturally, because there's less of them. So with that, I'm going to say stay spooky and stay toxic.